Okay, this is the Hubsan H502E X4 Desire drone. Um, this drone is amazing for flying, especially for drone beginners for myself. The first time I got a drone, I pressed a little bit up on the throttle and the thing just like shot up and to the left and onto someone's roof. And then when I retrieved it, I tried flying it again and just banged into things, and it was just a nightmare and scared me off drones for a long time. But I heard about the Hubsan H502E, the world's cheapest GPS drone, and I did a lot of research on drones to buy because I didn't have much money. So I bought this one for $100 Canadian, and this drone has GPS, $100 Canadian, and it has hover. So as soon as you let go of the controls, it will hover in this at the same altitude and in the same location where you last left it. It also has return home function, and if it loses connection with the remote controller, it will return home as a failsafe. So this is fantastic to see. Um, because this drone hovers in place as soon as you let go of the controls, and it's rather slow because it's GPS enabled. It's very easy to fly for beginners like me, because trust me, I wasn't any good at drones at all. Like, my first drone that I owned was an absolute disaster. The Hubsan has 13 minutes of flight time, which is amazing for a drone. It has a 2 megapixel camera, and it shoots video in HD 1280 by 720. And you can also take pictures with it. Like I said, the pictures will be 1920 by 1080, so basically HD pictures. I'm actually flying the Hubsan in 12-mile-per-hour winds with gusts of 19 miles per hour, and in this video I took it up 135 meters, which works out to 442 feet. So it was way up there. But the great thing about this drone is, including the battery, it only weighs 155 grams. So it's under the 250 gram weight for the restrictions enforced by Transport Canada. Because for all drones that weigh over 250 grams, Transport Canada has a number of restrictions on them. So if my drone weighed more than 250 grams, I wouldn't even be able to fly it in the city of Edmonton. So it only weighs 155 grams, including the battery. So I had to mention that. It's very easy and slow on the remote. So if you give it a little bit of throttle or a little nudge to the left or to the right, it's not gonna like shoot off to the side or shoot straight up. So for a beginner, you've got a really good sense of control over the drone. And remember, this is in 12-mile-per-hour winds that I'm flying in. So this drone is really good in fighting those winds and being able to control it. It's $100 Canadian. Has amazing flight time, and I mean the video isn't perfect. It's not like full HD of 1920 by 1080, but I mean it's still in the HD category. It's at the precipice of the HD category. You can see there I'm shooting some footage of West Edmonton Mall in the right of the screen there, as I live a few blocks from West Edmonton Mall, so I'm in a nearby park, Belmead Park actually. And you can actually see downtown off in the distance. So I'm really looking forward to taking this drone to the River Valley and shooting some great footage there. The only thing that Transport Canada advises you on with drones that weigh less than 250 grams is that you keep them in the line of sight. And which I actually did here. I actually could see the drone way up there. You might want to get an extra battery. I bought mine from China from a website called Banggood, and it took about 2 weeks to finally arrive. You can actually see my neighborhood in the video there, almost centered in the video. That's my little neighborhood where I live. I haven't seen very many Hubsan drone videos where people have shown just how high the Hubsan can really fly, but it can fly at a range of 200 meters. So 200 meters in feet is about 636 feet. That's up in the air. So it's got an amazing range. And if the drone flies past and loses connection with the remote, it will return to home as a failsafe. Also, if it runs low on battery, it will calculate whether it can return to home or it will make an emergency landing. So I'm taking the drone at a lower altitude here. When I first had this drone, I was so paranoid about flying this drone. I literally had it on a very thin kite string because my previous experience with drones was so scary, you know, losing so much control that I thought, okay, I'm not going to get this drone stuck on anybody's roof or anything, so I'm going to put a kite string on it. And the first time I shot it with a kite string, I had it about 153 meters up. But then eventually I wanted to see how I could control it and in which conditions I can control it without having a kite string anchored to it. Needless to say, I don't need the kite string. You know, I'm actually getting very comfortable with this drone, and this is the type of drone that you can definitely, if you never flew a drone before, you can pick up this drone and basically start flying, and you know, after 5 minutes or so, you'll get a sense of controls. You know, as long as you read the manual and you know that the right stick is for going left or right, forward or backwards, and that's the left stick. Yeah, left stick goes right, left, forward, backwards. The left stick goes up, down, and spins around clockwise and anti-clockwise, depending on, you know. As you can see in the video, the sun shows up as a little black dot. I mean, that's a small thing. That's not a big deal for me, anyways. I mean, I would give this drone a 10 out of 10. You know, I mean, just based on the price, definitely. Long flight time, 13 minutes, HD camera, GPS, you know, hover, return home. Controls are very easy. You don't have to worry about adjusting trims. You know, that was the big complication when I had my first drone, is I had to sit there and try to figure out how to adjust the trim, and that was just a huge headache. You know, I didn't know if my trim adjustments were making any sense. I actually crossed the street with this drone towards my neighborhood there. Oh my god. Now the drone is fighting some wind, so you have to keep this in mind. There's a wind blowing at 12 miles per hour that's pushing against the drone, so the drone is leaning into the wind and pushing a little extra power to get forward. And I still don't have like the best control at going through narrow spaces with the drone, so I'm really just taking it easy, you know. But I'm slowly building up my confidence. Like, this is the first time I took it directly into my neighborhood, and so you know, I'm not ready to play basketball with this drone, but I mean, this is the drone for a beginner. Absolutely. I mean, it takes decent video, very decent video. You can't complain about it. 2 megapixel pictures. Honestly, you only need 3 megapixels to take a beautiful picture. You don't need any more than 5 megapixels to post a picture online. I'm actually taking this drone like right in front of my house, more or less, and my wife is in the yard, so I was actually running low on battery here, and I had a chance to take it up take a peek over the rooftop of my house before the drone made an emergency landing and landed on the concrete. This is Darryl Learie, and yeah, so drone is going to make an emergency landing here soon. She's trying to periscope it, but I'm out of batteries, so anyways, I'm out. Perfect drone for a beginner, definitely. Buy this drone if you're beginning in droning. This is the drone to buy.